day at Globe Life Field. I'm going to bring in Fox 4's Jeff Kolb to break this all down for us. How happy are you? I guess that's probably my first question. You got something to cover, some exciting stuff.
No, absolutely. Of course, Texas Rangers had home games last year in their new ballpark, Globe Life Field, but it was completely empty, which was devastating to the franchise. So the concept of having a packed house, I mean, that's the moment that this franchise has been waiting for. And I think it was not only painful during those 30 home games during the regular season last year for the Rangers to play with just the cardboard cutouts and no fans, but then we saw the NLCS and the World Series played at the new home of the Rangers with fans. So now finally the Rangers will have fans. I'll add that not a shock to find out that there will be fans at these games, but how many fans? The Rangers haven't confirmed yet that this will be a packed house. I mean, what they've said is that the governor's office has given clearance for that. So still a lot of time until April 5th for the home opener. So that will be the big storyline, I think, to see just how many fans they'll be letting in.
Okay, so that's really good clarity right there. It hasn't been officially confirmed yet. They've just gotten the okay from the governor then.
Correct. And, obviously I think the Rangers would love to see that packed house. That would be, a huge deal to the franchise. This stadium has been, years in the works. And this was not the only ballpark that had to open last year across sports that didn't have fans. SoFi Stadium in LA was in the same boat as one other example. But, this Rangers team has not been on top, has not been to the World Series in several years. They want to get back to that level, and they see this stadium as a big piece in attracting better players and trying to get back to a contending level.
So say it does open at full capacity. What is it going to look like? Is it going to look like your typical opening day with beers and brats?
We'd sure like to see that. One advantage to this new field, Globe Life Field, part of the reason that they built this new home for the Rangers was to have a roof and air conditioning, and that's a big aspect that fans, everybody involved with the Rangers is looking forward to. The other advantage, of course, to the roof and it being retractable is that they can have the open air aspect. So in terms of COVID, that is key, of course, as you're trying to keep things as safe as possible with having as many people as possible. Texas has been on the forefront in the sports world in terms of having fans really throughout this pandemic. Just going back to, what we were just talking about in terms of just how many fans will there be, for the longest time, I think the governor's limit was 50% capacity. Now the Cowboys, the Mavericks, the Stars, they never hit that 50% number, but they did. The Cowboys, for example, led the NFL in terms of their capacity. So will be very interesting to see just how many fans we have, and hopefully, like you're saying, it will be as close to that opening day feel that we all love.
For these guys, these athletes who haven't played in front of a full crowd yet, how big of a deal would this be for them?
I think it would be a huge deal. I remember speaking with Rangers players last season about the cardboard cutout aspect of it and how weird that was. And, I remember being in the stadium when they first had their opener, and to hear the piped in crowd noise was weird. And it did bring a different feel to the game. So I think the players clearly missed the fans, and I think that it would be a huge boost for the Rangers, for all teams across baseball. And, if it's a packed house, that will be just groundbreaking across sports, because since this time last year when the sports world really shut down, there has not been a major event with a full house. So that would be groundbreaking.
I mean, it sounds like they've got the Rangers have a pretty good relationship with the governor. I think he threw out the first pitch or something this past season, or did the play ball announcement. So they've got their foot in the door, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. He got to say play ball, I believe, during the World Series. So he's a baseball fan, huge, baseball, fans down here in Dallas. Of course, people love their baseball. They love Rangers baseball. And like I was saying, I mean, this new stadium is supposed to usher in this new era in Rangers baseball. So it's a big deal. And I think it'll mean a lot whether it's on April 5th when the House is fully packed or a later date, it's going to mean a lot to the people here.
Yeah. Well, since we have you on, I have to ask you about the Dak Prescott news. What are your thoughts?
Of course. Dak is actually speaking right now, I believe. So I'm going to have to, jump over and check out that press conference as soon as I get off here. But, this has been, several years in the making. Of course, the Cowboys, and Dak were not able to come to a deal last year, and I think that left a bitter taste in Dak Prescott's mouth, no doubt. So this is a guy who, is not the top draft pick when he was picked in the NFL draft several years ago. A guy who's just, known as being a great leader, someone that people just love around here. So I think, while we'd all love to have that contract, I think people are just very happy for Dak Prescott.
Well, I'll let you go do your job, Jeff. Thank you so much for being with us here on News Now from Fox, and maybe we'll circle back on some of that Dak news.
Absolutely. That'd be great. Thank you so much.
And we're going to move forward with some of the stories here. Again, Jeff Kolb coming out.